everyone. Welcome back to the final Niner Tech Talks. My name is Ravi. I'm joined by Tahia and Bethany. And today, for the last time, unfortunately, we're talking about self-driving cars. I know we brought up a lot of points over the semester, and I think we've had some new thoughts, and I'm excited to share some of the insights that we have. Bethany, do you want to kick it off for us?
Absolutely. Right before we started filming, Ravi brought up a new version of self-driving cars that they're using in Las Vegas called Zooks. They look nothing like a regular car, look just like a regular cube on the road, which probably isn't terribly safe for anyone involved. And even though it does have some probably interesting features, there are a lot of things to take into consideration.
I had made a somewhat glib comment that the shape of the car kind of looked like crash bait. And since Las Vegas is known for sort of reckless behavior such as gambling, drinking, various drugs, having something where the safety isn't really guaranteed on the road may not be the most assuring thing for people who have to drive on Las Vegas roads regularly.
Right. And I'm actually going to bring up a different point to that. I actually disagree. I would think that keeping these people who are gambling and drinking and on drugs off of the road and not driving is a good thing. So we have multiple perspectives of sometimes that maybe this Zooks could glitch out or have issues, like we've seen some of the Waymos having issues blocking up traffic and not really knowing what to do. But on the other hand, it's a guarantee that these people who are inebriated or really shouldn't be driving, especially in a city like Las Vegas, they are taken care of and they are swept off of the road and taken to their destination without making any questionable decisions. Bethany?
Now the consideration is who's going to cause a bigger issue on the roads? These intoxicated people or the Zooks self-driving cars? Right now, we really don't want to test that statistic, but if we were to say, it would be hard to decide because we have so many different drivers on the road. We have a handful of people who are unfortunately driving intoxicated. We have a handful of regular people, and then we have a handful of the Zooks self-driving cars. Well, to compare all of those next to each other, it's hard to measure where we find the safest roads and where we can improve and make the roads more safe and available to everyone.
Right. Conversation around self-driving cars tend to center a lot around riders and risks taken on by companies and liabilities. However, it's always important to remember in the conversation that there are other people on the road who introduce various unpredictable factors. And by introducing it in such a setting as Las Vegas, we bring in even more unpredictable variables, as though companies behind Zooks, such as Zooks Robotics, may be assured of the quality of their product. How can anyone else on the road be so quickly accustomed to this new variable when there is essentially very little regulation to accompany it?
Right, and I think that's a great point. I think we should also think about the drivers that are being replaced. I remember when Uber and Lyft first came out, taxi drivers had riots in the streets and hated Ubers because people worked so hard for a medallion for this spot to be a taxi driver. And then anybody could come on the road and get the same amount of money or the same amount of drivers, and people were very upset about it. Do we think this is another natural evolution of how rideshare is going to work? Or do we think that we're taking away valuable jobs from people that actually need it, especially in a city where Las Vegas, where rideshare is extremely common, right? A lot of people don't have cars in Las Vegas because they're mostly either visiting for tourism or it's just a not very drivable place. So we have so many people that are relying on certain key people in industries like Uber and Lyft that might have their jobs taken away. Do we think this is a point to be considered?
This really brings in the larger conversation about the gig economy. Just the other day, I had been in a Lyft, and the driver was telling me about the new AI features that were being piloted on the app, and drivers were given little introduction or instruction regarding these features. And the introduction of self-driving vehicles like Zoox inevitably will cause these rideshare apps to jump on this opportunity in order to eliminate the competition or to get a piece of the pie. So in this case, we really need to consider how this will further disenfranchise people working in the gig economy as it replaces an important sector of labor today.
Absolutely. Bethany, do you have anything to add?
I think you all summed it up perfectly. We're possibly taking away jobs from people that could really need them and people that use this as their main source of income. So all factors do need to be considered when making decisions.
Absolutely. I think we've brought up some interesting points today. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. We're sad to see you go, but you'll never see our faces again. Thank you for watching Niner Tech Tac, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you for watching.